Coming up on Fulton today, Fulton leaders lobby for a bill designed to decriminalize minors forced into sex trafficking. And we'll talk to the new chief judge of Fulton County's state court. And county commissioners pledge support of HIV and AIDS services. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. Fulton County joins the fight to protect children forced into sex trafficking. It is a topic that's also being addressed this year at the state capitol. Well, FGTV's Priscilla Ortega is back on her beat at the state capitol, and she has our story now. Priscilla?
Shania, although the sex trafficking issue isn't an official item on the board's legislative agenda, this is an issue and concern the board and county leaders have expressed an interest in for a while. About 500 people wearing their purple gathered at the freight depot to tackle the sex trafficking issue. Jennifer Swain with Juvenile Court and the nonprofit Youth Spark rallied supporters and lawmakers like Senator Ray.
Asking you not to be afraid. We've started this mission many years ago. We have a long ways to go.
This lobby day just so happened to be on the day the Senate legislation was presented. The changes would increase penalties for buyers and sellers of human trafficking, and it will increase protection and resources for victims of these crimes. These resolutions are something Assistant Attorney General Kamala Wright is hoping for so young victims can get even more help in their recovery.
Usually most girls did start when they were 12 or 14. That's when they were first trafficked. No matter what age I finally get to encounter them and what age law enforcement finally rescues them. They really are young, manipulated girls who get into situations. There's a lot of violence out there. There's a lot of disease. There's a lot of just real sadness and despair.
Supporters say the #1 need in fighting sex trafficking is services for the victims.
Overall, our hope is for the women to have an outlet to actually get out and not be victimized and charged and labeled for the rest of their life where they can't, better their life.
The awareness for sex trafficking has grown since the first lobby day 6 years ago when about 50 gathered. At this one, hundreds attended. Chairman John Eves and Commissioner Joan Garner have also pledged their support. During a sex trafficking forum back in November, the chairman announced his plans to create a task force dedicated solely to this issue. Organizers are hoping the changes they are pushing here at the Capitol will only be the beginning. They want to continue to lead the nation in responding to the sex trafficking issue. Reporting at the state capitol, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, a new chief judge is on the bench at Fulton's state court. The Honorable Myra H. Dixon is only the second African-American woman to serve in that position. The judge's career is highlighted with achievements. She was the first female partner of the law firm Thomas Kennedy Simpson and Patterson and the second African-American to serve as an assistant Fulton County public defender.
All my career, I have attempted to do the kinds of things that you need to do to prepare yourself to become a judge. And so being a judge, what you normally try to do, what I always wanted to do, was to create a level playing field for all the citizens of Fulton County. And I think that by applying the law equally to all citizens, you get that when you have a person such as myself on the bench.
Judge Dixon enjoys mentoring young people interested in legal careers and promoting diversity in that field. Nearly a dozen women and men celebrate sobriety after years of destructive and addictive behavior. They are the most recent graduates of the county's veteran and drug court programs. FGTV's Felicia Church has our story.
I want to welcome you all for being a part of our graduation.
Superior Court handed out diplomas to the winter graduates of Drug and Veterans Accountability Courts. These nonviolent felony offenders successfully completed an intensive rehabilitation program that includes regular drug screenings and reviews before a judge. Their stories are strikingly similar.
She was arrested for shoplifting and set in Fulton County Jail for 2 months before going to court. In high school, Ian and his friends were smoking weed and drinking to the point where getting an education became secondary. My addiction was in total control. I didn't trust the program, the process, or the people.
And the outcomes emotionally positive.
He stands today with 736 days. Ms. Kinsey stands today with 506 days of documentation.
The director of the Accountability Courts applauds the Board of Commissioners for helping fund the program, which he says is far less expensive than incarceration and much more productive.
We're returning people to the community who become tax-paying citizens and aren't a threat or a safety hazard to the community.
This is the second graduating class of Veterans Court that started about 2 years ago. It was designed to work with people who have been in the armed services and currently involved in the criminal justice system. 3 of those veterans were among the graduates.
Mr. Stephen Alonzo stands today with 667 days of documented clean time. Divine Britton stands today with 562 days of documented clean time.
He stands 570 days clean. Officials attribute much of the success of the Veterans Court to a mentoring program that offers support and guidance to servicemen.
It's not a get-out-of-jail-free card. In fact, these guys have volunteered to sign up for a lot more intensive treatment than they would probably have faced had they simply been sentenced on the charges that brought them into court.
For many of the graduates, it's a change for the better.
So really the whole drug court process, it has changed my life. It's given me hope where I really didn't have any. And what it's done is it's helped me to grow up, essentially. It's like instead of staying a teenager, it's helped me to start growing up, accepting life on life's terms. And things are a little easier to deal with now. I can sit back and I can respond to something instead of react. You know, I don't have to get invited to every fight or situation that I go to. I've got good problems today.
When you go looking for help, don't tell help how to help you. Be willing to let help you.
Very well said. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
Thank you very much. The effort to end the HIV epidemic in the metro Atlanta area gains the support of Fulton County leaders. The Atlanta Outreach Initiative set up shop at the Loudermilk building to give residents access to HIV testing and services. Fulton Chairman John Eves and District Commissioner Joan Garner were special guest speakers. Both addressed the need for testing, prevention, and care.
I am thrilled and proud, and I want to say thank you to Chairman Eves and to Commissioner Gardner, to create this task force to talk about ending the AIDS epidemic in Atlanta Metro and in Fulton County. Now, the only southern city in the country who has made that commitment. And they deserve that recognition.
This is the 16th year the Atlanta Outreach Initiative has hosted an AIDS program. We'll have more on the county's AIDS strategy later in the show. Remember how in high school someone always got that perfect attendance record for never missing a day in class in 12 years? Well, the sheriff's office can beat that number. The department celebrated the dedication and professionalism of its employees. Of the 20 people at the ceremony, 3 were recognized for perfect attendance, including 1 employee who has not been absent for 23 years. Family members were present for the celebration to support the honorees. The sheriff's office employs more than 900 employees, including deputies that provide security for Superior Court and the county's official jailer. The office is also responsible for the health and safety of all county inmates. And when we come back, seniors celebrate Valentine's Day Italian style. It's a part of our District by District coverage next. Fulton welcomes Mercedes-Benz to the county, and homeowner associations get ready to go through HOA boot camp. Here's this week's District by District coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves and Vice Chair Liz Hausman as they extend a warm welcome to Mercedes-Benz executives. The commissioners attended the governor's press conference at the Capitol, where the company was formally introduced to the state. The company is moving south from New Jersey to make North Fulton its new home.
For us, Atlanta is a marquee city for a marquee brand, and we're proud to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is a multinational corporation, wonderful brand coming to our community, bringing jobs, bringing added options in terms of economic vitality within our area. And so this is great news for the county.
It's a huge impact financially, but just the emotional impact to the community. This says so much about our quality of life, and that Fulton County is the place to be.
The fact that they're building residential units around it will allow some of the employees to literally work close, or to live close enough that they could walk to work. So I think that's going to be a real addition to our community. The community is really excited and pumped that they're coming.
500 employees will move to Sandy Springs in June and July. District 2 seniors take a tour of Italy for Valentine's Day. Well, kind of. The participants of the Dorothy C. Benson Multipurpose Facility celebrated the love holiday with a Take Their Sweetheart to Italy luncheon. The Italian-themed luncheon gave the district commissioner a chance to express how important the seniors and the senior centers are to the community.
Great event, and I just think this really exemplifies, kind of what the investment we make in our seniors and what it means to them and how critical it is to this community.
It brings out the love of people, not just men and women, but all people. And it's a good day to celebrate as well as other days, but especially Valentine's Day.
The seniors enjoy a host of special events each month at the Benson facility. Any Fulton County resident is welcomed to join. More now on the annual HIV Care and Prevention Initiative. As we mentioned earlier, District 4 Commissioner Joan Garner extended greetings on behalf of Fulton County government. The commissioner applauded the work that has already been done by the Atlanta Area Outreach Initiative with HIV and AIDS education, but expressed a need by both the county and the community to do even more.
It's so important that we address this issue head on in our communities. Prevention is key, treatment is prevention, and so when we know better, as Maya Angelou said, we do better.
Phil Wilson, who is the president and CEO of the Black AIDS Institute, was keynote speaker at this year's HIV Care and Prevention Initiative. Now, to get more information on the AAOI, the organization that hosted the event, just visit their website. In District 5, save the date for the next HOA boot camp. Fulton Police and Code Enforcement will join forces with District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. for a homeowner associations training. Residents who live in South Fulton subdivisions are invited to participate in the free boot camp.
We found out that the builders, the developers, and all the management companies were coming together. And the only people that were not coming together were the actual homeowners that live in the subdivisions.
Commissioner Arrington started the boot camp series with the South Fulton Homeowner Association Alliance before he was elected to the board. Following next week's session, another one will be held in May. And finally, in District 6, youngsters get a lesson in the work of Romare Bearden. In a workshop titled The Bearden Experience, 7 to 12-year-olds learned how the artist used African American cultural history and literature as the source of his subject matter. The workshop was held at the Aviation Community Cultural Center.
I'm making a collage, and it's kind of like a funny-looking cat at a restaurant.
It is a woman with red hair and lipstick, and I got a piece of fabric and I cut it out so it's a rose so I could put it on her hair. And then I cut out a woman's body so I could put it, and then I'm gonna Then I'm going to use this kind of fabric to make a scarf.
I chose Romare Bearden as a feature for this particular workshop because he was an African-American visual artist who spoke to the African-American experience. He was from South Carolina. He migrated north. His work is heavily influenced from the Harlem Renaissance era.
Romare Bearden was an American artist and writer who depicted African-American life. He has worked with many types of media, including cartoons, oils, and collages. And when we come back, reinforcing the importance of the measles vaccine. Stay with us. A measles outbreak in the U.S. has affected more than 100 people, including one right here in Georgia. So now medical professionals are enforcing the importance of vaccines. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn has our story.
At least 17 states now, including Georgia, have been impacted by measles this year. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the first case in our state since 2012 is that of a child who arrived in Atlanta carrying the disease from outside the U.S.
Measles is a highly infectious disease. It is spread through coughs or sneezing through respiratory droplets. And it really takes about 95% of those in an area to be vaccinated against the measles before you get what we call herd immunity.
Director of Health and Wellness, Dr. Patrice Harris, says symptoms start with fever, cough, runny nose, and tiny white spots on the inside of the mouth. Then an itchy rash appears. Measles is a highly contagious disease days before you see the rash.
Vaccinations, immunizations are the best way to prevent measles. Children should typically have their first measles vaccine between 12 to 15 months of age, and then the second shot between 4 to 5 years of age. It's important that adults know their immunity status. Folks like me, maybe born between 1957 and the mid-60s, should consult with their doctor to get the appropriate test to see if they need a booster shot or not.
Dr. Harris says measles was declared eliminated in the United States back in the year 2000. But because unvaccinated people from other countries visit the U.S., measles is continually reintroduced into this country. Doctors say the most important thing to remember is measles is preventable with a vaccine. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Thank you, Lynn. More now on Fulton's effort to eradicate HIV and AIDS. The official launch of the Atlanta Greater Than AIDS Physician Ambassador campaign brought together a number of health professionals. The kickoff at the Loudermilk Center in downtown Atlanta was held on National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. During the event, health leaders discussed HIV and AIDS treatment and how professionals can bridge the gap and work together.
The healthcare workforce, that is a non-medical workforce, is in need to become educated about HIV and become their own ambassadors to carry forth the message that treatment is prevention.
A lot of different discussions about treatment of HIV and awareness of HIV and prevention efforts of HIV.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says more than 1,170,000 people in the U.S. are diagnosed with AIDS. Georgia is ranked in the top 10 states for the rate of new HIV and AIDS diagnoses. Most cases are in the metro Atlanta area. For more information on HIV and AIDS and how to get tested, call 404-612-1211. Seniors get their blood pumping as they recognized Heart Health Month for women. It was a sea of red at the Darnell Senior Multipurpose Facility as participants celebrated National Wear Red Day. All fitness instructors at the facility gave a 5-minute demonstration of their various classes. During the hour-and-a-half session, seniors had a chance to try out yoga, Tai Chi, aerobics, and Zumba.
It's very important for seniors to exercise because when you become a couch potato, you also become a candidate for a lot of illnesses.
They're teaching us how to keep the blood circulating throughout our body, and stretching is so important the first thing in the morning.
National Wear Red Day brings awareness to heart disease and stroke, which kills 1 in 3 women. But the American Heart Association says it's 80% preventable with lifestyle changes like diet and exercise. To get involved in a senior center fitness class, you can just call the Star line at 404-613-6000. And still to come, music, Motown, and history. We'll preview Kenny Leon's newest production at the Southwest Art Center. Well, if you're looking to get in touch with your artistic side this year, now is your chance. The county art centers are now registering for spring classes. There are a number of classes covering interest in visual art, dance, music, and even aviation classes.
Some of the more popular classes here at the Southwest Art Center are our youth dance programming, which includes our pre-K ballet classes, our intermediate jazz classes that range from ages 7 to 9 years old. Also, our adult dance programming is also quite popular. The urban line dance is a huge hit every session.
Classes start March 17th and end in May. The days, times, and locations vary depending on the class. For more information, go to fultonarts.org. And finally, Kenny Leon's theater company is performing another powerful play at the Southwest Art Center. This is video of rehearsal of Detroit 67. The play features the music of Motown and focuses on a family who was making ends meet by turning their basement into an after-hours club. But the family finds themselves caught in the middle of the 1967 riots in America's Motor City.
There's going to be a lot of different emotions that you'll feel. It'll be a lot of laughter. It'll be some tears. It'll be some strong opinions about what people may have felt started the riots and what actions were taken and the casualties of the riots.
Performances of Detroit will run from Wednesday to Sunday until March 8th at the Southwest Art Center. For more information, go to truecolorstheater.org. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Connect with us on Twitter or Facebook, or of course, watch us anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.